We really wanted to build a place that could be a little bit more private, but we still allow nature to sort of come in. There's a lot of natural light. We can see the trees and the sky. It actually feels like we're in a different world. The house is actually called the L house because it's shaped in an L. And what that does is it creates an inner space, this backyard basically. We use the house as a place to work, as a place to live, a place to play. It's really sort of our refuge from the realities of Los Angeles.
I grew up in Japan, so I wanted to incorporate some of the Japanese design to this house. As you walk in, right in front of the door, you'll see a small garden with a red Japanese maple tree. And if you've been to Kyoto, you will know there are a lot of temples like this. The storage is very important in Japanese houses, so we wanted to incorporate that.
When you talk about trying to have a more clean space, the key is actually just having a lot of storage. And so I think that's a theme throughout the house. It lets the architecture create the space, but not become the main focus. And it also gives us a lot of flexibility. Even our garage, for example, it actually can be a very multi-purpose space because we could open the outer door and the inner door and it becomes like a front door. You know, you could open up just that inner door and display the cars almost as works of art because cars are beautiful vehicles. Why shouldn't you make it something that you can have as a centerpiece as well? I'm a designer, and part of what I thought about when designing this home was approaching it like any other design project that I would tackle. And we really wanted to start with thinking about how we would actually live and use the home. And so I think there's a lot of features that were designed specifically around our needs. Even though this is a relatively simple looking house, there's actually a lot of technology hidden in the walls. The idea of technology is what can it do for you? The hope is that it's even more timeless too for the future because it does keep evolving. And so we're not really depending on that technology, but really using it as a way to sort of just make our lives a little simpler, a little better. It's hard to create a home for everybody. And at the same time, I think our approach was if we could create a home that we would really want to live in, we'd want to spend quality time in. Some homes brag about how many bathtubs they have, and I'm proud to say we've got one. And part of that is cultural.
Japanese house usually have a one bath area where all the family goes in.
So it's very big and airy. There's a skylight. It lets in a lot of natural light, and it's just a great place to relax. The office space, you'll notice that there's no cables on the floor. There's actually hidden trays behind the desk.
The stairs, as you can see, there's a window, my dog Panda's favorite spot.
It opens up and invites the neighborhood in. We actually sit there and people wave at us and they all know Panda because they do see her in the window. And that also was a really important detail, I think, in the design. The second floor is pretty unique in that we have a large wood screen. And what we loved was that in Japan as well, the wood ages almost like a cedar to a gray. We love this idea that there's a little bit of a patina or that it can age naturally. Our hope was to build a home that we could live for our entire lives, ideally. So those are things that you need to think about when you're building a house like this.